Carrie Underwood may be one of American Idol's biggest success stories, but few fans know she nearly walked away just as her journey was taking off, right after making the top 10. To stay updated with all the latest news, subscribe and turn on notifications. When fans think of Carrie Underwood, they picture the radiant country superstar who has conquered both the charts and the stage, her voice commanding arenas and her charm lighting up every red carpet. But behind the glitz and glory lies a story few know, one that nearly rewrote the course of American Idol history. Long before she became the show's most iconic winner and one of the best-selling artists of her generation, Carrie almost walked away from the competition entirely. Yes, the golden girl of American Idol almost quit after making it to the top 10, and the reasons behind that near departure reveal a vulnerable, deeply human side of the star that fans are only now beginning to understand. The story takes us back to 2005, the fourth season of American Idol, a time when the show was at its cultural peak. Viewers were glued to their televisions every week, waiting to see who would rise and who would fall, as the judges' harsh critiques and audience votes shaped musical destinies in real time. Carrie, a shy 21-year-old farm girl from Chicota, Oklahoma, entered the competition with raw talent and a humble dream, never imagining that she'd soon be in the middle of one of television's biggest spotlights. But fame, even in its early stages, came with enormous pressure. Behind the dazzling lights and polished performances was a young woman struggling with self-doubt, homesickness, and the crushing anxiety of performing live before millions of viewers. It's hard to picture that now, the confident, powerhouse vocalist trembling with fear, but Carrie has admitted in several interviews over the years that the weight of the competition almost broke her. In a recent resurfaced conversation, Carrie revealed that the moment she entered the top 10, she was overwhelmed by a fear that she wasn't good enough to go further. She had been thrust from small-town simplicity into Hollywood's intense production schedules, endless rehearsals, and the emotional rollercoaster of weekly eliminations. The reality of being watched, judged, and compared to other contestants week after week hit her like a tidal wave. She confessed that during those early Idol days, her self-confidence wavered to the point that she considered packing up and returning home. "I was scared of failing on national television," she once said, her voice soft but steady as she reflected on that chapter. "It wasn't just about losing a competition, it was about losing myself." The fear was not unfounded. Many contestants in the top 12 crumble under the constant pressure. The stage, the cameras, the endless expectations, they can be suffocating. And for someone like Carrie, who had never been far from home before, the experience was doubly isolating. She missed her family, her quiet town, the simplicity of a life without cameras or critics. Her mom, Carol, reportedly played a huge role in convincing her to stay. It was a phone call home, one filled with tears and doubt, that became the turning point. "She told me I had come too far to give up now," Carrie later recalled. She said, "You can always come home later, but don't leave before you see what could happen." That single sentence changed everything. Instead of retreating, Carrie decided to push through the fear. That decision marked the moment when a nervous small-town girl began her transformation into a superstar. Still, the path forward was anything but easy. The following weeks of American Idol's top 10 were some of the toughest in her journey. The stakes were higher, the criticism sharper, and the competition fiercer. She had to learn new songs every week, adjust to television cues, handle wardrobe fittings, interviews, and fan attention, all while keeping her voice healthy and her nerves in check. Every time she walked onto that stage, it was a test of endurance as much as talent. Viewers remember her angelic poise and clear, soaring voice, but what they didn't see were the sleepless nights and quiet moments of doubt backstage. Judges like Simon Cowell, who initially viewed her as just another country hopeful, began to see something deeper emerging, a natural performer finding her strength. Cowell even famously predicted that Carrie would not only win but would go on to outsell every previous Idol winner. That prophecy proved right, but it almost never came true. Had Carrie followed through with her plan to quit, American Idol, and country music, might have missed out on one of its greatest voices. The story has taken on renewed life recently as fans on social media have been revisiting early Idol clips and interviews, struck by how close Carrie came to walking away from it all. TikTok and X, formerly Twitter, are flooded with clips of her top 10 performances, with fans commenting things like, "I can't believe she almost quit, she was already perfect." And, This shows how important it is to have someone believe in you when you can't believe in yourself. It's a powerful reminder of how even the brightest stars can nearly fade before they shine. Looking back, Carrie's journey through those idol weeks mirrors the kind of grit and perseverance that would later define her career. From the emotional highs of Alone, to the commanding presence of Making Love Out of Nothing at All, she showed audiences that vulnerability and strength could coexist beautifully. Every note she sang carried not just technical mastery but emotional authenticity, the kind that can only come from someone who has battled their own fears and found the courage to stand tall anyway. When the finale came, and Carrie stood on that stage as Ryan Seacrest announced her name as the winner, the tears that streamed down her face told the whole story, not just of victory, but of survival. That moment wasn't just a crowning of a champion, it was a declaration of triumph over self-doubt, anxiety, and fear. She had faced her breaking point and chosen to rise instead of retreat. The rest, as fans know, is history. Carrie Underwood went on to become not just an American Idol winner, but one of the most successful recording artists in the world. Her debut album, Some Hearts, remains the best-selling debut by any Idol alum, and she has since won 8 Grammys, countless Country Music Association awards, and solidified her place as one of the genre's most influential figures. Yet, even as her fame skyrocketed, she never forgot the fragility of that moment in the top 10 when everything could have gone the other way. In interviews today, she often speaks about fear not as something to avoid but something to confront. "I still get nervous before performances," she admitted during a recent press event. "The difference now is I know that fear doesn't mean I can't do it, it means I care deeply about doing it right." That kind of wisdom was hard-earned. It's what makes her story resonate with so many people, especially young artists trying to navigate the pressures of fame. Carrie's near exit from Idol isn't just a footnote in her career, it's a powerful lesson about perseverance and faith. It shows how the moments when we feel most lost can lead to our greatest breakthroughs. Even the most unshakable icons have moments of doubt. What separates them is the decision to keep going. Fans today see Carrie Underwood as a picture of grace, power, and perfection, but her legacy is built on the courage to stay when walking away seemed easier. It's almost poetic that the same show that nearly broke her became the launchpad for her dreams. In that sense, her story completes a full circle. The frightened girl who almost quit after the top 10 now stands as the ultimate symbol of what can happen when you don't give up. And that's perhaps why her fans feel such a deep, enduring connection to her. She isn't just a superstar, she's a survivor of her own fears. Every note she sings, every lyric she writes, carries that authenticity, a reminder that strength is not the absence of fear, but the will to move forward in spite of it. Today, as American Idol continues to discover new talent, Carrie Underwood's story stands as both a warning and an inspiration. It warns of the mental toll fame can take on fragile dreams, but it also inspires anyone standing on the edge of giving up to take one more step, to hold on just a little longer. Because you never know, that next performance, that next opportunity, could be the one that changes everything. If Carrie had quit after the top 10, the world might never have heard Before He Cheats, or Jesus, Take the Wheel, and a whole generation of aspiring singers might have lost one of their most powerful role models. Her decision to stay altered not just her own destiny, but the landscape of American country music forever. In the end, Carrie Underwood's story is more than just a tale of fame, it's a human story about resilience, faith, and the quiet strength it takes to stand in your fear and sing anyway. It's a story that reminds us all, sometimes the greatest victories begin with the courage to stay when you most want to leave. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our Talent Zone Updates YouTube channel for more update news.